going, everybody? Adrian Simple here from thegamingobserver.com for Mailbag Saturday, September 19th. For questions or comments of your own, mailbag at thegamingobserver.com. Alright, our first question here comes from Mercy, who asks, what made me think of creating The Gaming Observer? You know, the story is actually pretty simple. I had a friend who mentioned this unique concept of Lexi Flash briefings, and I liked the idea so much that I ordered a device for myself. Upon searching for one about video games, all that really came up was IGN. I thought to myself, hey, I've got a microphone, I think I could pull this off, and then within 2 weeks I had 100 daily listeners, so really threw me off guard. But I'm really happy I tried it out because look where we are now. In a similar vein, I've got another question here from Imerg, who asks how much preparation it takes to make this show. For the regular news updates, it takes anywhere between 60 and 90 minutes start to finish. So quite a chunk of my evening, I would say. And I mean, the process is probably what you could imagine. You know, I scan the headlines, I choose my favorites, and then I do more in-depth research. And then once I've done that, I write the script, record, edit, and upload. It's pretty rudimentary, but it does take time to get it right, and one day I look forward to making even more content when I have more time. This one comes from Zach, and he says that a lot of workplaces have taken steps to stop themselves from crunching, and asks what else could companies do to eliminate it? That is, crunch culture. This is a really great question, and there's an important caveat here that I've never created video games myself, so I'm not intimately familiar with the process. But I do report on this every day. And I can also tell you that I come from the live theater industry, where we do a lot of collaborative work for an end product. And from that perspective, it's all about pre-production. By far the most expensive thing about creating is the labor to create it. And so when I sit down to schedule my labor, I make damn sure that everything is ready for them when they arrive, and that they're not going to run into any hiccups once they start working. The more time that they spend actually creating, the better and the cheaper. And from the stories I see from gaming, there's a lot of people who just throw every expensive thing at the wall before they actually figure out where they're going. Now, the other aspect of this is leadership. If the people who run the business think that it's the only way to work in the industry, then nothing's going to change other than legal repercussions or a cultural upheaval. Part of my job as a broadcaster is to bring some of these issues to light so that we can change our mindsets as a whole, so that more people will speak out against these practices in hopes of a cultural upheaval. I mean, there's a lot of companies out there who have publicly denied crunch culture and have still released amazing and successful games. There are 9-to-5 developers out there of your favorite video games. And true, we probably don't have mega hits like Fortnite and GTA 5 without crunch, but those games were also made by private companies. They aren't accountable to shareholders, so why not spend a few other $1 billion to actually make their workers' lives bearable? And if the people in charge actually cared about the players' enjoyment of the game rather than pumping out a product, I would hope that they'd recognize that a happier workforce means a better product overall. Anyway, I could talk about that for a long time, but there's certainly much more to be done on a lot of levels, whether that's legal, cultural, or even local. Thanks for the questions, everyone. Mailbag at thegamingobserver.com to submit your own. I'll be back tomorrow with the game releases from the last week, and on Monday with the news. Until then, happy gaming, everyone.